So you know that I've been talking here and there about the Venezuela topic, my homeland, and in this case, last night, Don Jr. interviewed Maria Corina Machado, the undisputed leader of the Venezuelan opposition. I made sure to point out how in July of last year, it was very easy to prove. Well, Maria Corina made sure to prove with all the own registry of the government of Maduro himself, how Maduro essentially stole the elections. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. It's something that is a secret to everybody. But the problem is that after that, we expected a bit of, rush things because I'm telling you, we have been waiting for some time, a quarter of a century to be exact, for something to be done about the Chavista regime. It's not only Maduro, it was Hugo Chavez as well. And you know that this is a bit complicated for me because I have the responsibility of speaking in these terms of what is going on. And you know that I've been giving the opposition, in this case, Maria Corina Machado, and Edmundo González Urrutia, the president-elect of Venezuela. You remember that Maduro reinstated himself again on January 10. I've given them like 8 months. And after Maduro reinstated himself, I gave them like a bit more than 1 month, 1 month and a half, at least 4 or 5 interviews to see what they were about. I wanted to see if this was going to be the same disappointment of 2019 when Juan Guaido was the interim president, that many people are saying, well, it was not the same because Edmundo González Urrutia was elected by 70% of Venezuelans. But I'm telling you, Juan Guaido was 100% legal interim president. He was the real deal. He was legally the interim president of Venezuela. So there is not much difference in my regard. But let's say that, okay, Edmundo González is the way to go in this case. And this interview was interesting for many reasons. I said, why would Don Jr. interview Maria Corina Machado? You might ask, well, it's the interest of the United States, perhaps, the topic of Venezuela. Donald Trump has tweeted many times about Venezuela. It makes sense. Okay, it could make sense in that way. But at the same time, it was interesting that he did the interview at the same time, simultaneously. They were recording the interview. When this interview aired, it was recorded like barely hours ago. And hours ago, it was revealed that Donald Trump has essentially canceled the renewal or suspended the license of Chevron of this American company with Venezuelan oil. All right? Which, just to give you an idea, it means that he's essentially taken down 25% of the entire GDP of Venezuela. All right? That is huge sanctions. Okay? Those are huge sanctions, and that happened. Meanwhile, this interview was taking place, and by the fact, Don Jr. announced Maria Corina Machado during the interview what was going on. I guess that to measure her reaction. My idea. I'm not gonna tell you why I think that this interview took place, but I have a couple complaints about this interview for Maria Corina. It would be great if Maria Corina said the truth, that the only way the Maduro Chavista regime can end is violence. Everybody knows that as well. Everybody in Venezuela knows that as well. Stop the negotiations nonsense. More than a couple times during this interview, she has already said that this is a criminal organization. We are talking about a criminal organization that has hijacked the country. Her words, not mine. And those words are on point. This is a criminal organization that has hijacked our country. But she just said in that same interview the words that they want, her and Edmundo, a peaceful and orderly transition. I heard those words and I said, okay, maybe I misheard something. Maybe I didn't get it right. Maybe I didn't understand. But there's another thing that she said. She said that the military of Venezuela was not with Maduro anymore, which is a lie. It's a lie for two reasons. It's a lie. The first reason is that we know that since Hugo Chavez rose to power, he made sure to be infiltrating the military with Cuban and Russian intelligence. Maybe Chinese and Iranian intelligence as well, but mainly Cuban. And if they had been at it for 25 years, like 15 years ago, it was already infiltrated. And if you have the slightest dissidence, you were expelled from the military immediately, or you were disappeared, or anyway. So 15 years ago, the military is under Maduro's control, under the tyrannist's control. And that hasn't changed. That hasn't changed. But according to Maria Corina, for some reason, she said that, oh no big deal. The military is not with Maduro anymore. So we guess that they are with you and with Edmundo. And my question is, if the military are not with Maduro and Edmundo is the legitimate president of Venezuela, then why haven't you, removed Maduro from Miraflores yet? That's something that I did not understand. And another lie that Maria Corina said is that she told Don Jr. that she has been talking against socialism for 20 years, which is another lie. Because only 10 years ago, like halfway through that, she was congratulating Voluntad Popular, another party of traitors, fake opposition, for joining the International Socialista. So, if you are against socialism, would you congratulate somebody for joining the thing that you are talking against, speaking against? Do you think that makes sense in any way? No, because everybody knows that Maria Corina says from the mouth, de la boca para fuera, that she is a centrist. I would say that she is leaning a bit, in which direction. And this is the proof. This is at least proof of that. Okay, let's say Maria Corina has changed her mind from 10 years from now. That was 10 years ago. Jesus gave her a bit of a break. And, the military not being aligned with Maduro, that is a lie. That is a lie. You have to be clear. You have to be clear about things. You're talking to Don Jr. And Don Jr. and Donald Trump is 100% going to get the message. That's your chance. That is your chance to talk to the big boss. The problem is that something that happens that you need to know about Venezuela is that basically, most people is essentially centrist, leaning a bit to the left. That is one big hurdle. And when they don't want, and I say they because I don't consider myself in that group, they don't want actual full capitalism. And that is a big problem. I'm going to say something again, and by the way, to put things in perspective, that I heavily criticized Edmundo González Urrutia for taking a picture with Joe Biden when Joe Biden was less than 2 weeks from leaving office. And I got all these imbeciles telling me, oh, but Joe Biden was the current president of the United States. What was his choice? Well, his choice was not taking the picture. You don't take the picture with Joe Biden, and I will tell you why you don't take the picture with Joe Biden. You don't go and talk to Joe Biden. You don't care about Joe Biden. Joe Biden was less than 2 weeks from leaving office, and Joe Biden, you know that he was not even in his right mind. And to put things really in perspective, what Donald Trump finally did right now was once again suspending the license of Chevron in Venezuela and hitting really hard the Maduro government. Don't begin to tell me that, oh, the Venezuelan people are going to suffer. Venezuelan people have been suffering even when we had oil at $100 a barrel. That doesn't have anything to do with the earnings of the country. We have been suffering either way. Either way, that is the truth. U.S. sanctions, no, it's the Venezuelan government. So Trump is hitting them once again. Okay, you can see here. Okay, there were some sanctions in which year? Okay, sanctions in which year? You're seeing that which year is between 18 and 20? Who put on those sanctions? Oh yeah, Donald Trump imposed those sanctions on Venezuela to punish the Maduro regime. That was pressure. That was actual pressure on the Maduro regime. And who took that back? 22. Who was in the White House in 2022? Oh, Joe Biden. Joe Biden granted again the license for Chevron to operate in Venezuela and give that gush of fresh air to the Maduro regime. Then I want to ask you once again, retard, I want to ask you once again, why would you take a picture with Biden? How? In your sane mind, who in the right mind would you take a picture with Biden after that? And you're telling me to believe, you're asking me to believe that all of them are socialist scum. The moment I saw this, I said, this is it. I'm going to give them a bit of rope. But, well, Trump just rolled back the oil concessions Biden handed to Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. The regime has also failed to return the violent criminals they sent into our country at the pace they had agreed to. And you go and take a picture with Biden. And to make things worse, and I have no other way to speak about this. To make things worse, when Don Jr. asks the question, if you sat down with my dad, what would you tell him? Which begs the question. I was watching John P. Acquaviva's analysis of this, and he has a point about this. John has a point about this, in which that question implies that Maria Corina Machado has never, even in a Zoom call, sat down to talk to Donald Trump. Because this is a hypothetical. If you sat down with my father, it means that she has never talked to Trump, not even a Zoom call. And I can guess it's because Trump doesn't want anything to do with, yes, like the Financial Times said, that this opposition, even this opposition, are losers. And you cannot blame him because Juan Guaidó and Leopoldo López were the traitors that made sure to the United States leave Maduro alone back in 2019. And these people are doing exactly the same. What I was thinking is that Donald Trump told Don Jr. to make this interview as a test. This was a public test. And Maria Corina failed spectacularly. Failed in the worst possible way. Why did she fail? Not only what she has said so far, but you need to listen to her answer to the actual question. No, this is muted.
You do this without turning Venezuela into another, a Libya or Iraq, which would be examples of sort of, where that went wrong and just, led to just downright instability.
Well, I really look forward to that moment. I really do. And I would say, look, Mr. President, Venezuela is the biggest opportunity in this continent for you, for the American people, and for all the people in our continent, certainly for Venezuelans. And we have the plan to move forward. We're actually already executing it. The plan to get Maduro out.
Nobody knows about that plan. And again, remind me in a minute. Oh, all the people that tell me, Maria Corina cannot reveal the plan. All right, I'm going to address that in a minute.
We assume our responsibility. We do our part here, and we have proved it so far. And we will never stop working, days and night. But we need a true ally that exactly knows what to do.
And we would like to know, what do you want the United States to do?
We don't need.
Pay attention to this, please, because this is really important. We don't need what?
We don't need boots on the ground. We don't need soldiers in Venezuela. That's crazy.
We don't need boots on the ground. We don't need soldiers in Venezuela. That's crazy. Maria Corina, you just said for the past 40 minutes that in Venezuela there are cells of Hezbollah, Hamas, the Tren de Aragua, of course, other terrorist organizations, that the Maduro regime is a criminal organization, that they are a hub for all this stuff 3 hours away from Miami, and you somehow want a peaceful transition. And at the same time, I don't know if I added that clip here. I should have added that clip here. I think that I didn't add it. She said the words, which is totally logical. She was addressing President Trump directly, that Trump cannot negotiate with Maduro, that she should be negotiating with her or with Edmundo, which makes sense. Then I say, wait a second. All right, you're telling me that Trump cannot negotiate with Maduro, right? Because it's a criminal and he's a leader of a criminal organization. And if you cannot negotiate with the leader of a criminal organization, how are you supposed to have an orderly and peaceful transition is my question. And again, to address the fact that all these people are in the same bag together. All these people are in the same bag together. Juan Guaidó could leave Venezuela. Leopoldo López could leave Venezuela. Edmundo González Urrutia could leave Venezuela. If Maduro wants, if Maduro allows you, if they allow you to, you can leave Venezuela. If they don't want you to leave Venezuela, you're going to disappear. You're going to disappear. And Maria Corina, by the way, you never explained what happened with that video you published on January 9. You never explained that, by the way. I'm going to leave that question open. I don't care about the answer, by the way, because I don't think I will be addressing, because most probably after this is going to be my final video in the Venezuela topic, because I'm really done with all of you. So Juan Guaidó could leave Venezuela. Wow, the guy is James Bond. Sardina en aguata. Leopoldo López, el telepreñador, could leave Venezuela. Edmundo González left Venezuela, and where did he go? He went for asylum in Spain. You couldn't go to El Salvador or couldn't go to Argentina with Javier Milei. No, you have to go to one of the most socialist countries in the world, to Spain. Give me a break, man. Give me a break. You think that we are stupid? What? No está viendo la cara, pana. No está viendo la cara. This is way too much. You go to Spain, and then now you're on a tour over the world, like letting the world. This is the best part. He's on a tour over the world, telling everybody how evil is the Maduro regime. Everybody knows it years ago. We know it. The world knows it. You don't have to do any tour for that. We need to take you know, have a change of season. Change the one who is in Miraflores. And this is not going to be with negotiations. This is not going to be, and I'm not making this up, this is not going to be with the power of love, as Maria Corina herself said a couple weeks ago. She literally herself, she said, literally, her words, that we don't have the weapons. Now, obviously, you know, was one of the most fervent pushers of the anti-gun laws in Venezuela? This lady. So you voted to take the guns away from Venezuelans more than 10 years ago. There you have it. There you have it. So she said that we don't have the guns. Now, of course, that we don't have the guns. That's obvious. But we have the power of love. The power of the love of mothers who want their sons and daughters come back to their country. I want to say so many things right now, but I'm a gentleman. I'm not going to say it. But I'm going to say something that I think, I'm pretty sure that many people will have the same deja vu right now. You are a Juan Guaido part 2. You're just making sure that this doesn't happen. There's no other way. There's no other way. And the instant that I knew that this was part of the rules was this. All of you are socialist scum. All of you. Every single one of you. There's not one politician in Venezuela right now that is not socialist scum. That is a reality. That is a reality. There's no way. There's no way. Yes,
But we need.
To ally. I'm gonna repeat that. I'm gonna repeat that part. We don't need boots on the ground.
We don't need boots on the ground. We don't need soldiers in Venezuela. That's crazy.
That's crazy. So, okay, I was wrapping up. I really don't want to waste more time on this because this is wasting my time. It's literally wasting my time. I get this all the time. Maria Corina cannot reveal the plan. She cannot reveal the plan. I'm pissed off right now. She cannot reveal the plan because she is in Venezuela. She's inside Venezuela. She hasn't left Venezuela. I'm gonna repeat that again. Juan Guaido left Venezuela. Leopoldo López left Venezuela. Edmundo González Urrutia left Venezuela. If Maria Corina Machado wanted, she could leave Venezuela as well. If she hasn't left, it's because she doesn't want. And what does she say? What is her explanation? It's because my mother doesn't want to leave. Her mother is very old. It's like 100. I don't know how old is her mother. She is quite ill. I understand. It's complicated. But I'm going to tell you. You know that you have been against a criminal organization for years. Years now. Let's say 10 years. If I know that I'm going to go against a criminal organization, the first thing that I need to protect my loved ones. I need to get them out of my country. I don't care if my mother doesn't want to leave. I make her leave no matter what, because I need to fight this fight here. And in fact, if you want to actually coordinate getting Maduro out of Miraflores, you would do a better job outside of Venezuela, not inside. Inside, you have your hands tied. And I'm going to say one more thing so you can understand the true character of this woman. The day that Maduro finally took office again, reinstated himself in office, she recorded a cryptic video in which I asked a general question. What does she mean with this video? And I got all sorts of attacks, and all sorts of attacks told me exactly the same thing. Aren't you realizing, Jesus? She's telling us to go to the streets, to protest and go and get, against all these armed forces without weapons. And I said, well, she never really said that. She is implying that. She is implying that, by the way. She was implying that. You go. And said that Edmundo González Urrutia was too important to show his face, to come to Venezuela. And she, of course, couldn't show her face because that was too dangerous. But the elderly, the people in Venezuela, what's the word? Like, you have to exercise your right to protest. What does that mean? What does that mean? Imagine how irresponsible you have to be to issue a message to people who really want to change, and you promise them for months that Edmundo González Urrutia was going to be juramentado, elegido in January 10th. She said that over and over again. Edmundo said that over and over again. They promised that over and over again. And up until the last minute, oh, you know what? That didn't work. Oh, yeah. It's like Maduro did not let us in. No shit. The fact that you are in Venezuela, Maria Corina, you are using that as a scapegoat. You're using that as a justification. Oh, yes, she cannot reveal the plans because she's inside Venezuela. Precisely. If she wanted to oust Maduro out of Miraflores, she could coordinate the allies, the strong allies that she's here, and you can see, oh my God, Don Jr. is not buying it. This went exactly as he expected. This went exactly as he expected. You could coordinate those allies much better from outside of the country, and you will not be in danger, and your family will not be in danger. And you know what's another thing? That's why I tell you, there's what's called the Hanlon's razor, in which you should not confuse stupidity or malice. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Edmundo González Urrutia's son-in-law was hijacked as well. I mean, after the elections. Because he was alone taking kids to school without any kind of security. I mean, are these people really that retarded? Or are they retarded or are they evil? Because if you know that you're going to be the chosen one, well, before it was the Juan Guaidó, chosen one, now the chosen one is Edmundo González. If you know that you're going to be the chosen one, the first thing you do before you are announced, you take all your family out of the country because you know that this fight is going to be, oh, she said that against a criminal regime. She said that in this interview many times with Hezbollah, Hamas, the terrorists, the Tren de Aragua. So you're not here to play. You know that these people disappear. People. These criminals disappear, literally disappear. You never know about people again. You don't even know where your family is detained. So the first thing that you know is to take your people out of the country. You tell me then your son-in-law just went to take his kids to school and he was hijacked And why did he go? Why? I mean, I really don't get it. I really don't get it. The other thing that I can tell you is that all these are socialist scum. Socialist scum. I really don't care. In 2019, speaking and exposing Juan Guaido, I lost 70% of my family and friends. And today I decided that the 30% left, I knew that I was going to get into trouble with the 30% left. But you know what? I'm fed up. I'm hasta aquí, ¿me entiendes? This is it. This is my last video about Venezuela. This is what we got. A bunch of socialist scum. This is no other way to explain it. You cannot justify any of this. There's no way that you can make this fit. There's no way that you can explain this. And by the way, I did my homework back in July, and I praised the way that she proved that Maduro had stolen the elections. I did that. You can still read that thread on my ex. And I explained how Maduro and the Chavista regime steals elections because, well, we were seeing that the Democrats in the United States wanted to do the same, and I wanted to give you the primer on why every country needs paper ballots and same-day voting. But this, play with a country's hopes and dreams and expectations for months to be a nothing burger, to be Juan Guaido Part 2. This is the most irresponsible thing that I've seen in my life. So many people. I gave you the benefit of the doubt for 8 months. 8 months. And so many people in Venezuela are still hoping that you do something. And after last night's interview, after this interview, I'm sure that 30% is going to be down 5%. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, that's... For me, I have to say this, and I will sound quite dramatic, but it's the truth. For me, Venezuela is a chapter that I need to close. For me, Venezuela is a chapter that I need to leave behind. Why, would you ask? For the sole reason, for the simple reason that you waste too much energy and time trying to warn people, trying to explain the things, trying to tell people, try to, let's talk about this. This is no longer my fight. I fought this in 2019. I got what I got. I don't regret one single minute of it. And right now, I needed to tell you that you're being fooled again. And since there are no politicians left, and the politicians that are for the cause of Venezuela are playing paddle in Miami, or they are in Chuecas in Madrid, or they are touring around Latin America. I really don't know what to tell you, and I don't think I will have anything new to tell you about Venezuela anytime soon. So that was my analysis of last night's, not only of last night's interview, but of the past 8 months of Venezuelan politics. I would like to know what you think about this in the comments.